Hi guys, hello boys and girls, and hello my dear fellow foreign English speakers. It's me, Robby from EnglishHarmony.com, and welcome back to my video blog. Now, in this video, I'm going to respond to a few comments that I received on my latest video on my YouTube channel. It was 3 days ago, and I'm sorry for not being able to respond to you guys sooner. It's just that I didn't respond in writing because I thought I would record a video, and I actually tried it last night, but the camcorder just gave up on me. The battery ran flat for some reason. It hasn't happened before, so I'm guessing it's approaching its end of life, you know. But for a little camcorder like that, it looks like a cell phone, you know. 5 or 6 years I've been using it, right? For a little thing like that, it's a long time, so it only stands to reason that at some stage I'm gonna have to buy a new one. Anyway, let's get down to business, and the first comment is the following. Hello Robby, what is a good duration of time we should spend per day learning English, and what subjects should we focus on more? Grammar, vocabulary, reading? Thank you. Now, before answering this question, let me just have a sip of coffee. Cheers. To calm my nerves, simply because I've been answering this type of question again and again and again. But it kind of ties in with the question that I was asked once. Listen, Robby, why do you keep talking about the same things all over again, you know? It just goes to show you guys that people visiting my channel, watching my videos, they're not all my long-time followers, so they don't know it all, you know? This person probably just landed on my YouTube channel, watched a couple of videos, but they don't know the truth, you know, and it's up to me actually to repeat the same thing again and again to send the message out there. So, to answer this question, grammar studies is not going to make you fluent. So, yeah, basically, learning English. If you say, yeah, we should actually start by defining the whole problem, right? Learning English. What do you mean by learning English? If you mean traditional studies, well, yeah, I could tell you, yeah, you should spend 20 minutes studying grammar, 20 minutes learning new vocabulary, and 20 minutes reading, right? Okay, but where is it going to take you? You're going to spend 10 years learning English following this kind of routine, but it's not going to get you anywhere. And I was in the same boat years ago. I spent long years following the traditional English studies, but my fluency was very bad, and I couldn't figure out why it was happening. The answer now is quite obvious to me, and I want to make it obvious to you. Sasha, as well, that's the name of the commentator here, right? No amount of learning or studying is gonna contribute to your ability to be a good English communicator, good English speaker. You gotta create your own immersion environment whereby you spend at least half of the time speaking with yourself. Yes, self-practice. That's one of the key things here, right? Whatever you do, you gotta speak about it. And going back to the immersion environment, right? Anything you do in your life, you gotta make sure that you do most of it in English, as much as possible. News, reading, watching films, entertainment, surfing the web, looking up for information. Do it all in English. And then comment on it, talk about it, discuss it with yourself. You're watching a film, discuss it with yourself. Do some shadowing. Try and copy those naturally occurring speech patterns, you know. You're going somewhere in a car or just walking. Speak with yourself. Discuss stuff that's been going on in your life, stuff that's important to you. Make plans, prepare for important events, and do it all in English, you know? So you gotta make sure that you have this English immersion environment going on, and that is the crucial aspect that's gonna make you fluent down the line. If you just learn the traditional way, just focusing on grammar and vocabulary, nothing's gonna happen. I did it all for years. I became so good at grammar. I knew all the grammar concepts, the different rules and regulations behind how grammar works. But it didn't help me to speak in real life, simply because I didn't practice, right? So I hope that you kind of got the the idea, right? You should just forget about learning in the traditional sense and just live English, start doing everything in English. So if you start doing that, then you're not going to have the question, how long should I dedicate? You should dedicate the whole time as much as you can. There is no limit. For instance, my entire day is spent doing stuff in English. And at that stage, you just stop perceiving it as something mandatory, something that you have to do, because you just do it, And if you love the English language enough, you're just going to be motivated quite naturally. If you don't, and it's a drag and it's boring, then probably you're not in a situation where you need the English language, right? But anyway, that's this question answered. And the next one is, hi Robby, I've been talking to my iPod, which is something that I've been suggesting, obviously, to you guys to do. And I'm really awful, terrible. My fluency is no good. Maybe I should do more. Yes, by all means, do more. I've lost the track of times when I've felt awful about my personal spoken English performance. I've been recording videos and I've felt like my fluency is just non-existent, And if I stopped right there and I just didn't keep pushing and didn't persevere at it, nothing would have happened. So the key is, yes, you should do more. You should be super perseverant. That is the key here, right? You got to do it day in, day out, all the time. And sometimes, obviously, you have to kind of take a little break. If it becomes too overwhelming, just forget about it for a day or two, and then you get back to it. And then, more often than not, you'll realize that your fluency is back up again, And it's all because you've given yourself plenty of time to rest and then kind of get back into that, into the practice, and it's just going to happen by itself, I assure you. Now, the third question is, Robby, I have problems with specific terms. Like, I call the receptionist the man or the woman, and the waiter, I describe it as the guy who serves us food. The accountant is the woman who takes care of money. So basically, this person is saying that he can't find specific terms and he describes those terms in another way, right? And he says, I look so uneducated and dumb. Can you help? First things first. The typical fluency issue that all of us at some stage have encountered is whereby you just can't say anything. You're kind of talking and then you get stuck completely and you can't say anything at all. And in that particular instance, describing something in a different way, paraphrasing, is the solution. So what you're describing as being a problem, as a matter of fact, it's a solution to a much bigger issue. So you're much better off describing the waiter as the person who serves us food, right? You're much better off doing that than not being able to say anything, because so many times I've witnessed it time and time again. Someone is trying to think of the right word to say, but they just can't. And they get so focused on trying to finding the right word that they can't say anything else. And that's a million times worse. So you're in a much better situation, right? So you basically have to change the perspective and see this seemingly negative thing as a positive, for which it is. It is a positive. If you can describe stuff in using different words in a different way, then it's all good. That's not a problem, And as far as learning those specific terms, well, it's just a matter of learning them and start using them. So every next time you have to talk about it, kind of make sure that you use another specific term that you would have learned recently. And if you really forget about it, then use different words, describe it in a different way. But the key here again is context. You gotta learn the word, for instance, receptionist in a context, So for instance, when you visit an establishment, you're entering a building, and then you see the receptionist, right? The receptionist is sitting at the reception, So kind of try and incorporate that word in a sentence. So the receptionist is sitting at the reception. I'm entering the building and the receptionist is there. So kind of say it a number of times till it kind of ingrains itself in your brain, and then you're going to be able to use it so much more successfully, you know. So once more, change your perspective and start seeing the ability to paraphrase as a good thing, as a positive, as opposed to something that you should be ashamed of, you know. So that's it for now. And there's another comment there, single word, saying jackass. Well, there's all sorts of people on YouTube. I gotta go, gotta grow thick skin to be able to just laugh it off and whatever, you know. Maybe I am a jackass, but I don't care about it anyway. Thanks guys for watching this video. I hope that it's been helpful to you, and obviously if you have more questions, please feel free to publish them in the comment section below, right? See you, bye bye.